Lindsay, welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing my March book haul. I've got quite a few books to talk to you about today, so it's a much bigger haul than it has been so far in 2019. So let's just jump in. A few books I picked up recently at a trip to Waterstones, the first of which is Red Clocks by Lenny Zumas. This has just recently come out in paperback in the UK, and I saw it as part of their sort of like 3 for 2 deal that they normally do in Waterstones, and I had to pick it up. It was either that or buy one get one half price, something along those lines. So this has been described as a really feminist novel about 5 women and different their different lives at a time where things like IVF and abortion are illegal, and I think it's kind of set in the near future. So really looking forward to reading this. I've heard nothing but great things about it, and so many people put it on their 2018 favourites list, so looking forward to seeing what all the fuss is about with that. I picked up a copy of Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. This is a children's classic that I've been meaning to pick up for ages. It's the first book in a little series, I think, as well. I've heard various different people say really good things about it. So Christopher from Books and Jams, I think, has read definitely this, maybe the whole series, I'm not sure. And this is a really sweet little Puffin Classics edition of it. Perfect for me to have on my children's shelf. So yeah, couldn't resist getting that. Another one I had to pick up was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've been excited about this coming out. I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo last year and absolutely loved it. It was on my favourites list. I saw this in Waterstones. It is the hardback edition, but as you can see from the cover, it's been signed, so I couldn't pass up that opportunity to have a signed copy of it. It is actually a first edition as well. So yeah, all I know about this is that it is, I think, a contemporary story, and it's got something to do with music, like I think it's something to do with a band. That's basically all I know. The few people that I've heard talk about it have said good things about it so far, so I'm hoping that it lives up to my expectations when it comes to her writing. Another one that I'm hoping really lives up to my expectations is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. This is her second book. I absolutely loved The Hate You Give, so I'm hoping that this is going to be as good, and I've been anticipating this for quite a while. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition, so it has the purple sprayed edges. Her second book even hasn't come out in hardback, so I think I'm gonna, if I read this and really enjoy it, I'm gonna look for the hardback edition, the US hardback edition, because I bought the hardback edition when I was in the US a couple of years ago, when The Hate You Give first came out. So all I know about this is that it follows a girl who wants to be a rapper. That's all I know about it. And I have heard a few people say that they've enjoyed this, so I am really looking forward to diving into that. The next couple of books I've got to show you are ones that I picked up in a charity shop. This one is What I Thought Was True by Huntley Fitzpatrick. Oh god, that's got like a massive glare on it. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird cover in that kind of sense. But anyway, it's not often that you see sort of like American YA that's in a charity shop. Obviously this was published in the UK, but still, I have My Life Next Door up on my shelf that I also bought in a charity shop, and I saw this one and I sort of had to get it. It's a YA contemporary, that's basically all I know about it, but nonetheless, I bought it. The other one I picked up in that charity shop was Good Me Bad Me by Ali Land. This is the proof edition of it, so I was kind of drawn to it for that reason. I think I have a copy of this on my Kindle, which, you know, is bad because I don't really need 2 copies. But anyway, yeah, this is a thriller, and I believe it follows a girl whose mother is in prison for murder, and then I think it's about her trying to work out whether she is like similar to her mother in that kind of way, so it's kind of like a psychological thriller in that kind of sense. So yeah, we'll see. A book I was sent by either the publisher or the author, I can't remember who got in touch with me, but anyway, it's The Girls Are Gone by Michael Brodkorb and Alison Mann. I think this is non-fiction. So it says on the back, The Girls Are Gone is the true story of 2 sisters who went missing, the father who kept searching, and the adults who conspired to keep the truth hidden. So yeah, I think it's a non-fiction book, and I think it's about kind of the story of these two girls and the investigation into their disappearance and what happened to them and things like that. So I've enjoyed books like this in the past. It reminds me a little bit of The Fact of a Body, and what was the one I read last summer about the girls that were raped? I can't remember. Maybe that was The Fact of a Body. No, I don't think it was. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of that, and I've really enjoyed books in that kind of vein. Sorry, the light's gone a little bit weird because the sun's dipped behind the house, so there was a massive lighting change. But anyway, yeah, so this came all the way from America, and they paid a lot of money for shipping as well, so I must make sure that I read this and post a review. Another sort of random book that I picked up during the month was Instructions for a Second-Hand Heart. This is by Tamsin Murray. We had Tamsin Murray come into school as part of World Book Day and talk to our year 7 and 8 about you know, what it's like to be a writer, and she talked specifically about this particular book. She's written a lot of different books for all different age ranges, and she's even written some adult contemporary. I can't remember what she uses a different pen name for that, but anyway, this particular book is follows two characters. One of the characters is called Johnny, and Johnny needs a new heart. He needs a heart transplant. He is basically stuck in hospital the whole time. He's on this machine, which means that he can't really go anywhere, and the machine is basically keeping him alive. And we also follow Neve, whose brother dies in the first chapter, I think, of the book. So that's not a spoiler, and it is actually on the back as well. And Johnny gets her brother's heart and then basically tracks down Neve later on in the book, and it's about the two of them meeting. So yeah, just the way that she described it when we had the talk was really, really interesting. I'd also wanted to support her, so I bought a copy while she was there and she signed it to me. So to Lindsay, I hope you love this, from Tamsin. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to reading that and seeing what it's like. She talked about the fact that she did a lot of research, and that she'd written 8 different drafts of this, which it was really just interesting listening to what she was saying about the writing process and things like that. So yeah, okay, so I fiddled around with the camera settings so it's a little bit lighter. And then yesterday we all, a load of booktubers met up in London, and we all went book shopping, and of course I picked up a few different things there. Firstly, I was given by the lovely Katie over at Books and Things. I will leave a link to her channel down below. She works for a publishing company, and she bought a couple of proofs with her and very kindly gave them to me. So this one is The Woman in the Photograph by Stephanie Butland, and this is about 2 women who are friends, I think. So it says 1968, Veronica Moon, a junior photographer from a local paper, is frustrated by her male colleagues' failure to take her seriously, and then she meets Leonie on the picket line at Dagenham Ford factory. So begins a tumultuous, passionate and intoxicating friendship. Ahead of her time and fighting for women's equality with everything she has, Leonie offers Veronica an exciting, free life at the dawn of a great change. 50 years later, Leonie is gone and Veronica leads a reclusive life. Her once promising career was abruptly cut short by one of the most famous photographs of the 20th century. Now, as that controversial picture hangs at the centrepiece of a new feminist exhibition created by Leonie's niece, long repressed memories of Veronica's extraordinary life begin to stir. It's time to break her silence and step back into the light. What really intrigued me about this when I looked it up was the fact that it was about this picture at the picket line at the Dagenham Ford factory. And there was a film that I watched a few years ago that focused around that kind of idea as well. I'd forgotten what it's called, but I really, really enjoyed the film. So yeah, I was really intrigued by this. So that sounds really good. I'll let you know my thoughts on that. And then the second proof that she had copies of was The Dangerous Kind, and this is by Deborah O'Connor. And this is a thriller. So I feel like it's a little bit too light now. Hold on. Messing around. There we go, that's a little bit better. Yeah, this is a thriller, and it says on the front, you know who they are, but you don't know what they've done. I don't really need to know anything more than that. I know these proofs are like really massive, but anyway. So yeah, I do like a good thriller. Again, I'll let you know my thoughts on that one. And then the rest of the books that I have got, I bought. So we were in the London Review of Books, and I firstly picked up It's Not About the Burqa. This is edited by Mariam Khan. This is a series of essays, and it says, the little description on the front inside cover says, what does it mean exactly to be a Muslim woman in the West today? According to the media, it's all about the burqa. Here's what it's really about. So there are 12, 15 essays, something like that. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 different female writers in here, all writing about their experience of being a modern Muslim woman, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm actually going to be doing a buddy read of this with Emma over at Emma's Bookish Lifestyle in April. Harriet from Harriet Roseley recently read this, and I think she read it. Either she read it or she hauled it, and it just really piqued my interest, and I couldn't get a copy of it from the library, so I decided to pick it up when I saw it in that shop. I also picked up in that shop My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyin Khan Braithwaite. This is a book that has intrigued me for quite a while now, ever since I learnt about it coming out. And this basically follows two sisters, one of which is a serial killer and the other one who cleans up after her. So yeah, when I picked this up in the shop and was sort of hanging around waiting to pay, quite a few different booktubers said to me that they absolutely loved this, that they read it in either one sitting or two, and it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, really looking forward to reading that one. And then I love walking into a bookshop and picking up something that I've never heard anything about before. And being a booktuber and watching booktube, it's quite rare for me to do that these days. You know, there are so many books out there obviously that I'm not going to be aware of, but I kind of feel like the main popular ones I'll have heard of before. So it was breath of fresh air to find a few different books like that in London Review of Books, and I picked up City of Jasmine, and this is by Olga Grishnoa. I know I've got that wrong, sorry. This is a book that's set in Syria. So it follows three characters who flee from Syria and it's an intimate and striking novel that offers real insight into the brutality of war and the humanity of many of those caught up in its horrors. This is a translated work, so it's translated from the German by Katie Derbyshire. And yeah, I just really love the cover. I like the idea of the fact that it's set in Syria. You know, it's very, very current for that particular reason, and yeah, I just was intrigued. I wanted to read something that I'd never heard of before, so yeah, pick that one up. We went into Forbidden Planet, and I picked up 3 books in Forbidden Planet, 1 for me and 2 for Stefan. So the one that I picked up for me was Pages & Co, Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James. I've heard great things about this. This is a book about books basically. This is about a little girl called Tilly whose father owns a bookshop, and it's sort of like the idea that she gets to go inside stories, and there's like a mystery that's attached to it and things like that. It sounds so charming, and I mean, just look at the naked hardback. Oh, it's just so lovely. And this is also a signed edition. They had lots of signed editions in there, so signed by the author. So I couldn't resist picking that one up. And I've been really into kind of reading children's books, or definitely picking them up anyway, so I really wanted to get that one. And then the 2 books that I picked up for Stefan were Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I haven't taken the sticker off of this yet. This is the sequel to Stranger Dreamer, which he read last year and absolutely loved, so I was really pleased to see that there for him. And I also got him a copy of The Fork, the Witch and the Worm, Tales from Allegesia by Christopher Paolini. So Christopher Paolini wrote the Aragon series, which my husband has read and absolutely loves. Yeah, and I think this, oh hold on, this volume features 3 original stories set in Allegesia, interspersed with scenes from Aragon's own unfolding adventure. So yeah, It's a beautiful edition, again signed by the author, so that was a massive draw. It's got a map at the front. Yeah, it's really, so I thought I'd get that for him as well. And then the last couple of books that I picked up in foils, which was where we sort of ended our bookshop tour of the day. And the first one is Summer Bear Blue by Akemi Dawn Bowman. This is her second book. I read Starfish last year and absolutely loved it. Again, it was on my favourites list, and I've been really intrigued about picking up her second book. And this, I believe, is about a girl who's a songwriter, and it's about the fact that her sister dies in a car accident. It's also about her sort of like grief and the grieving process. So I'm really intrigued to see what she does with that, and whether her writing is what got me the last time, or if it was just a subject matter or her characterisation. I don't really know, but yeah, looking forward to reading it anyway. And then the last book I picked up was An American Marriage by Tiari Jones. I've been really intrigued by this because it's been on a few different sort of like famous people's lists of books that have been really good. So I believe it was on Michelle Obama's sort of like favourite books list, and I want to say also Oprah Winfrey. I could be wrong about that, but I kind of feel like it has been. And I think this is a contemporary book about a married couple. Basically, yeah, newlyweds Celestial and Roy are the embodiment of the American dream. Yeah, so I mean, it's even got a quote from Barack Obama on the front. I mean, if that doesn't sell the book, I don't know what does. But anyway, yes, again, this has just recently come out in paperback in the UK, and it's also been longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. So yeah, I thought I would grab that. So there we go, guys. Those are all the books that I picked up in March. It's quite a big haul this time. I've had a couple of smaller hauls, like I said, but this one a lot bigger, mainly because, like I said, I went on that Booktuber Meet Up yesterday, and yeah, I had the opportunity to do a bit of book shopping, which is always nice. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Have you read any of these books? What did you think of them? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.